Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Mudit Gupta. I'm a partner with Ernst& Young, also known as EY, and I'm within the financial services team. Today, I have a pleasure of speaking with Cindy Tu. She's a director of IT and data audit at Discover Financial. I'm sure you're hiring, on a regular basis within your team, and also,
Yep.
folks going, within the team. What are you seeing from as you're hiring, new folks coming in, whether in junior ranks or senior ranks? Are you seeing, is there a difference in some of that skill set and training when folks come into to your functions?
Are you mentioning it as related to like data risk management, AI risk management skills? Yeah.
Right.
Those are very hard to come by. I feel like there's a war on talent, especially when it comes to AI and for data as well. Same holds true for data, right? So it's been very hard to recruit for folks who have like data audit experience, right?
Mhm.
And AI fraud experience, I don't think those exist yet,
Yeah.
right? No
Right.
one knows how to audit AI yet. I think we're just trying to figure it out, right? So I think that talking about the strategy, I felt like in order to fill those data talent and AI talent gap that exist in the company and at the industry overall, I felt like you need to do firstly the training, right? So talking about digital literacy program and fluency program, but the other side is to recruit the talent from the marketplace, right? So I felt like that's been something that you need to identify individual who have some basic understanding of the data and AI, and they need to be hungry, like they need to be motivated to be able to learn the new technology, because unfortunately you don't have a lot of readily available like talent around data and AI, right? So you have to hire someone who is willing to learn and who are fast learner, who are motivated enough that, if you make the investment and try to teach them how to do this and how to audit data, how to audit AI, they're willing to invest the time to learn, right? So those are the type of talent that I'm looking for when I'm interviewing and recruiting for a specific position, because it's very hard to come by that find someone who have the mixed of the
Yeah.
background and experience that exactly what you're looking for. So you need to have to do like you need to do recruiting strategy, identify where your gap is, but also willing to have a robust training program in place to invest the time so that they can get there.
Yeah. No, thank you. And I 100% agree with you that it's a war on talent, and
Yep.
like it wasn't out there before. It just got worse, probably like 5 or 10
Yes.
x, right? It wouldn't be a complete discussion if we don't talk about future, where we headed. And we hear about agentic AI architectures and workflows. And we also hear about the availability of reasoning models, and also relatively lower cost models that are open source, right? But then you also have a lot of vendor platforms that are becoming available, that allow you to be a lot more efficient, right, in how you run uh, your AI models going forward. So, what emerging trends in AI should the financial services organizations be aware of, right? And also, maybe a second part of that question is that as the technology evolves, right, how can the governance frameworks, evolve and adapt to the tech evolution? So it's a two-part questions, loaded question.
Yes, thank you. I think the emerging trend, I definitely see that, because of more and more availability of the Gen AI use cases, and we're not stuck at the theory level anymore, right? There's been, like use cases that have shown that could increase productivity by a lot, right? Like there are small productive gain. There's one that, especially when it's applied to like programming, we will see that, even companies starting to, thinking like maybe we need to repurpose some of the workforce because like in this area, we were able to leverage more Gen AI use cases, and even talking to friends, like they use Gen AI tools on a daily basis. I'm personally using a lot of Gen AI tool myself, right? Just assist with the life and work and all type of things, right? So definitely see more and more popularity and more attention in terms of like, hey, what are the Gen AI use cases that you have seen in the marketplace, right? Or in using your personal life, right, as a leader to increase your personal productivity. I think it's been just, I don't think everyone I think this is a hype. I don't think this is hype anymore. It's becoming the mainstream. Everyone is using it. Everyone is talking about it, right? That's I think across the industry, that's been the trend. And any conferences that you go to is all Gen AI, right? Like, so you can't avoid it, like anywhere you go. And in terms of your question about the governance framework, I talked early in the session that I definitely see that, especially financial services company putting more rigors around, that AI, governance framework now compared with, let's say, a year ago, right? And make sure that you use different type of, like maybe classify these cases into different type of, Gen AI use cases so that they can get governed by. It could be the brand new AI, governance framework. It could be leveraging existing model governance or IT governance or data governance framework, right? Depends on what use cases there is to make sure that they pick the right framework so that we can be consistent, right? And I definitely see that. I think as these use cases are going through from POC to production, I think companies are also slowly and surely realizing additional risks that they may not have discovered early on, right? In the usage, maybe we did not discover all the risk in the POC phase. So I'm seeing in some cases that after the tool had been deployed in production, some functionality may be taken out and disabled because in production you realize, hey, these are the cases that things could go wrong. And after the second thought that we decide to disable this feature, right, within the Gen AI tool. So I'm seeing some of that as well. So as we are being more aware of the different type of risks that may be in Intel and different kind of things that the AI tool can be leveraged, we're still, trying to balance that innovation versus risk management. So that's a constant struggle, if you will. But I do see more maturity compared with the use cases that I've seen last year. So I think we're on the right path. I'm really excited about what the future can bring. At the same time, I felt like, professions like ours that is managing risk management, I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon. So that's job security.
That's for sure. I call it a recession-proof profession.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for sure. That was really insightful. And maybe just to summarize what I heard, right? So certainly data is a foundation, but some of the old principles on data quality, data security apply, but they probably apply in a much bigger and and more rigorous manner now than they did before. But you certainly can leverage what was put in place, what data frameworks and governance frameworks you had in place, right?
Yep.
We talked a lot about stakeholder engagement and the fact that they should be engaged not just early, but along the way, right?
Yes.
Fully. But they can actually not just give you approvals and authorizations, but also review the output and provide you feedback, provide you guidance along the way, whether it's from a privacy lens, from a legal lens, from an IP lens, right? And certainly from a data lens. I really liked what you said about training. This is your new suite of training that should be right alongside your compliance training
Mm-hmm.
and should be offered to everybody in the organization as opposed to an AI COE or a data team or a tech team. It should really be meant for everybody. This is everybody's problem, not
Yep.
just a specialized team's problem. Um, and and what you said about certainly this is going to evolve, I think, faster than we can all keep up. Right? I create a slide and I think it gets stale the next week at how fast this is evolving. But the governance frameworks will have to continue to evolve, especially I think what you mentioned around once you put it in production. You've gotten the approvals, you put it in production, you need to have a very strong framework to monitor the operation, the actual performance, any drift, post the actual production implementations, so that you're not seeing some unintended consequences,
Yep,
later on as you put it in production. Uh,
absolutely.
it was a pleasure, Cindy. We can again go on for quite some time on this topic. I think it's a very passionate topic and subject area for mine, and certainly for you as well.
Yep.
So I
Mhm.
truly appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for those insights for the listeners. Thank you for joining. For more interviews and any more insights, please also feel free to visit the CDO Magazine.tech website.